G'day jabronis, it is the Verd back with you again, and welcome here to week 3 of the PMC. Your Tampa Frogadiers, God knows how, are currently 2-0 with a +4 differential. I have no idea how I managed it. I feel like both of the games that I played, I probably could have lost them. But somehow we're here. And we're 2-0. And you know what? In this league, we're having fun. We're using fun shit. We're having fun. And this week is the exact same. We are here to, as I said, have fun. So, here is a quick little recap of the team that I am bringing. So, I am like high off of fucking cocktail Frankfurts right now. I hope this recording is good. Well, let's find out. We have Mega Morwile. Oh, sorry. I am playing Gravy, who sounds delicious. Coach of the LA Valienteis. I don't know what that is a reference to, but Valiente means brave in Spanish, so I suppose you have, you know, bravery for choosing that name, my dude. Anyway, you know what? It's going to be fine. So he has a pretty spooky team. Definitely a lot of heavy hitters on there. It's an interesting like balance of shit, and I think I brought a pretty solid team to deal with him though. I don't know. Fuck it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Who knows? But we have Morwile here. Morwile was like the easiest bring to this matchup. I really wanted to bring Sucker Punch because there's a Chandelure, but I was like, nah, because like in order for Shandy to come in and pressure my Morwile, like something has to die first. He can't risk switching Shandy in because like 9 times out of 10 guys, my attacking move of choice in this matchup is Knockoff because it's just free. If he goes into Slowbro, that's free. If he goes into Mudstone, oh no, Stamina Boost, that's fine. I knocked off his lefties, so that's free. But mainly the thing with Morwile is like getting up rocks early is super important in this matchup. His only form of removal, as far as I'm aware, well, he has 2. He has Zapdos and he has Scizor. And quite frankly, in this matchup, if he's wasting a move slot on one of them to run Defog, I'm pretty okay with that. Like, Scizor is a huge fucking threat in this matchup. Which is why Morwile also does have the Fire Fang. Morwile's nice here too because against things like the T-Tar and the Scizor, I can kind of switch it in and get off the Intimidate. Same with Mienshao. I can switch it in, get off the Intimidate early, and don't have to Mega Evolve straight away. I can just go for Rocks for free. I can still go for Knockoff. I don't really need the huge power super early in the matchup. Realistically, what I just need to do is get these Rocks up and put pressure on his team because like it really pressures Zapdos a lot, which is... Well, Zapdos and T-Tar are basically the only 2 checks he really has on his team to my Tornadus. Zapdos also is one of the better checks that he has to Scolipede in general. So being able to pressure that thing is just really, really nice with the rocks there. I was contemplating running Toxic because it does the same thing, but I do have Toxic on other Mons, so I'm kind of cool with Morwile just running this. Player Off was the main attacking move of choice because it just covered like everything. Iron Head Slowbro resisted, so I like being able to go Player Off into Knockoff and basically knock out a Slowbro. Speed-wise, I believe I am creeping... Oh, now I need to remember what I'm creeping. I believe I'm creeping No Speed T-Tar. That looks like, just using my head right now, No Speed T-Tar, it looks like it's what I'm creeping. To catch that shit off guard and just knock it out with Player Off would be fun. Fire Fang is pretty much literally only there for Scizor. It is a threat to run Fire Fang, I know, in this matchup, because obviously... If Chandelure comes in hard against the Fire Fang, then that's annoying, but that's why I'm running the rocks. So Shandy can only come in a limited amount of times, and like I said with Shandy, it has to worry about Sucker Punch. So I assume if he's going to bring Chandelure at all, you got to remember that I do have a Snorlax on my team too, and he's just seen that I brought a Snorlax the week before to specifically deal with a Blacephalon. So I'm getting the feeling he's going to be a little bit afraid to go on Shandy in this matchup. So, I don't know, we'll see. I'm kind of mad that I'm not bringing Lax. It's just hard for Lax to prosper when there's a Mienshao, a Mega Scizor, shit like that. It's just not ideal. But it is what it is. Morwile's a lot of fun here. Moving on though, we got a nice Taunt. Why did I click that one? I meant to click that one. There we go. Taunt. So it is my designated lead in this matchup because clicking Taunt is super free against Slurpuff. I do not want webs against me in this matchup. Or if webs do go up, I want them to be in a situation where Slurpuff doesn't do them for free. Like, Slurpuff pretty much has to die in order to allow him to have hazards, is the way that I want to play this game. But yeah, Taunt's super nice. I'm running the Icy MZ with Icy Wind. That is mainly for the Zapdos. Modest ICMZ Icy Wind to max HP Zapdos does like 62 min. So my basic plan is that I can obviously taunt, double out into something. If rocks are up, then basically Zapdos is immediately under pressure there. Or if I'm able to drop a Hurricane earlier in the game, I can scout what kind of Zapdos that he's running. And then if I'm able to just ICMZ and knock out Zapdos, that's huge for me. ICMZ is also nice though for potentially like Sceptile, Dragalge, Mudsdale, hits all of them, which is cool. I'm not... Okay, so this is the risky part of this build, right? I'm not running coverage for Tyranitar. My reasoning for this is because when T-Tar is in against Tornadus, I expect one of two things to happen. One, he's going to click a Rock-type move because I'm a Taunt. Or he's going to click Ice Punch because he knows that I could go into Nidoqueen. Or he's just going to go for his hazards. So, realistically, anytime that I'm in with Tornadus, my play is just going to be switching hard into Mawile. Because Mawile can pressure T-Tar if I get the Intimidate off. There's nothing that T-Tar wants to click against Tornadus that is going to hurt Mawile that badly. So, that's always a nice pressure play that I can make. And by taunting T-Tar, like, T-Tar comes in against Taunt and I taunt it, then I'm even safer of going into Mawile, because unless he predicts Mawile and goes for EQ, that's a hell of a risk to take when I could be running like a Z fighting move. So I think I'm pretty safe in that regard. It does suck that I have no way to hit T-Tar, but like literally everything else on my team can hit it for fuck tons of damage, so I ain't too concerned. You know, like, I ain't too concerned. I can get away with Modest because with 120, with the base speed that I have, I actually creep Mienshao. So that's dope. I can get away with that. That's nice. And I do get outsped by Timid Sceptile, but like, if he brings Timid Sceptile, then alright, man. Like, I guess Unburdened Timid Sceptile is going to come sweep me. I don't know. I don't think I'm ever going to allow Sceptile to kind of set up and win, hopefully. I said that with Lando last week, and look what almost happens. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, Hurricane's just there because Hurricane spam is just great. I kind of want to change it to Air Slash, but Hurricane, just the damage output is very nice. And Heat Wave is literally just there for Scizor again. It's just because Scizor is such a huge threat, I need to prevent its ability to set up effectively, and most of my team does do that. The only one that might not be able to do that is Jushin here, my Raikou. Jushin is a very interesting set this matchup. You might be thinking, why the hell have you brought a Raikou like this? What? So I have brought this Raikou for many a reason, but one of the big reasons that I brought it is I believe with this investment in Raikou, there is no way that Slowbro can break my sub. So I can effectively bring it in against Slowbro, I can bring it in against Zapdos as well, and set up subs against Zapdos. I think that's the other thing it's invested in, is enough to where a Zapdos Hidden Power Ice cannot break my Raikou sub, because I believe it has to bring Hidden Power Ice Zapdos in this matchup. He could bring Signal Beam to deal with Hydreigon. I don't think so. I think he's going to bring, like, Roost with Toxic, Hidden Power Ice, and Thunderbolt. Something like that is what I assume his set's going to be, and this Raikou takes advantage of that. So the only Mon on his entire team that actually has a good matchup against this Raikou set is potentially Mega Scizor, because I have no investment in Raikou, but he doesn't know that. And the actual thing that has the best matchup against this Raikou is his Dragalge, which is interesting. Like, so my plays around Dragalge are very straightforward. Dragalge has to probably go for like Sludge Wave or a Dragon move in order to break my sub. So the funny thing with Raikou is I can kind of like protect if I want to, or just click a T-Bolt move or whatever. So like it's a 50-50, but what I could do with Raikou to get me some more like positioning in the game is actually hard swap out of Raikou, knowing that like Dragalge might run HP ground. That's the one fear, and that's kind of why I have Protect on this set too, is for that potential situation where I can kind of just protect, and if I see Dragalge go for Hidden Power, then I'm like, okay, that's probably Hidden Power ground. So then I have a nice other play of going into Taunt if I need to against Dragalge. There's options around that. My point is also, like, I don't know how likely he is to bring Dragalge in this matchup, because, like, it kind of gets fisted. Like, Nidoqueen destroys it, Hydreigon destroys it. If it's a Calm Mind Raikou, I 1v1 it. Torn could be physical, which messes it up. Scolipede has access to Earthquake, not even to mention like some of the things I haven't brought, like Lax absolutely dominates it. So I actually don't see him bringing Dragalge. I see his check to Mawile, and to an extent Raikou being like a really fat Mudsdale. Like Mudsdale plus Slowbro is what I expect to be the ways around shit like that. So because of that, I think that this Raikou can completely take advantage of his team. 100%. Enough speed to creep 179. What the hell am I creeping with 179 speed? Sceptile? Maybe? What the hell am I... Oh, Tauros. So yeah, that's the other thing with Taunt. I can't creep a Tauros, but I can creep a Mienshao. My Raikou does creep a Tauros, because why not? Anyway, moving on here, we got Hydreigon. We're going into the Life Orb attackers now. I got 3 sets of these, and they're all fucking amazing. So, Hydreigon is creeping Timid Chandelure, and has investment in that attack stat to ensure that Slurpuff gets OHKO'd after rocks by Iron Tail. This Slurpuff, as I said, is not allowed to prosper without a sacrifice. So, like, even if it comes in against Raikou and it's like, oh, I'm a Slurpuff, I can set up webs. It's like, yes, but my Raikou is going to be behind a sub and be able to do shit. So, like, you're not really getting off that much more than you think you are. But, regardless, as you can see from the matchup, like, Iron Tail is also phenomenal against T-Tar. The whole premise, right, is if he doesn't bring Slurpuff, I'm pretty free to click Draco. And Life Orb Draco into Life Orb Iron Tail after rocks just knocks out most T-Tar variants. So it's great. It's a sick bait. I wish there was, like, I mean, I could run Iron Head, but Iron Tail's damage output, it's, again, the damage output is so important in this matchup, and the fact that I can knock out T-Tar and knock out Slurpuff after doing those moves is just really, really nice. And, minus Defense Nature kind of sucks for the Scizor, but the reason I've done that is because Hydreigon can switch in more effectively against Zapdos and Slowbro. So, yeah, I've kind of sacrificed being able to hit Scizor as hard with this set, but you have to remember, I do have the Heat Wave on Taunt, I have the Fire Fang on Mawile, and as you're going to see with my next set, I have the Flamethrower on my Nidoqueen. So Nidoqueen is designed to creep a Adamant Max Speed Scizor, I believe. There may also be something else that it's creeping. I just realized what have I done? How have I done this? Oh, there's a button on the side. Dope. Let me get back to it. There it is. Okay, I have a little thing on the side which shows me his team, so I can always, like, read off of it. And yeah, I kind of fucked that up. But anyway, so Nidoqueen is literally just 4 attacks because Mawile's got the rocks, so Nidoqueen can whip out the cock. No, it's a female, obviously. But he doesn't have a lot for Nidoqueen. Like, an offensive queen really threatens his team a lot. I'm actually thinking that speed investment that I have is creeping a Jolly T-Tar now that I think about it, using my big brain. I can't remember, though. But regardless, Nidoqueen with those attacks just runs through his team. I have to run Thunderbolt because... So the one thing I can't really hit that hard is Zapdos, but like I said, I've got Torn with an Ice CMZ, I've got Raikou, I've got Hydra, I've got coverage for that, but Nidoqueen just runs through shit. Slowbro might be a potential switch in, but remember that I'm knocking off Slowbro's item, hopefully, with Mawile. I have Hydreigon, and I have Raikou that can both come in quite freely against Slowbro most of the time. And Queen can just drop moves like it's nothing. He doesn't actually have a lot on his team to really break a Nidoqueen, crazy enough, so bringing it offensively is going to be a huge pain in the ass for him. Like, he has 2 Z-move users, which do both outspeed Nidoqueen, but not necessarily pressuring it that badly. Like, Inferno Overdrive would suck, but I could also just go hard Hydreigon to deal with that shit, so, you know, go figure. So yeah, Queen is just here to be an absolute wrecking machine, literally just running through as much shit as possible. That is the whole premise of this Nidoqueen in this matchup. Is just a switch in on, say, like, you know, Zapdos, potentially, if I ever do, like, an electric move or a toxic or whatever. Or even bring this shit on Dragalge, just because I can. And be like, well, I'm gonna click a move now, let's see if you can live it. Pretty much. So yeah, Nidoqueen's fun. And then finally we have my boy Life Orb Scolipede. Enough speed to creep the Tauros, in case it's some Scarf shit, obviously. But yeah, like, Scully is an interesting set here. Obviously, the big thing you'll notice with a Scully is, oh, Mega Horn plus Poison Jab. That's a pretty good set, Verd, but it's kind of walled by Mudsdale and Dragalge, don't you think? And you would be correct. You would be correct that both Mudsdale and Dragalge can kind of put a stopper to this Scully set in a way. But that's where the Baton Pass kind of comes in. So, like, this Scully can kind of come in effectively against a lot of things and just threaten them straight up with the fact that it is a Scolipede. Or I could just go for Protect, it's whatever. The other thing too is you'd be like, oh, it doesn't hit Scizor. But you have to remember that, yes, I'm not hitting a Scizor, but I am Speed Pass. So I can just Baton Pass the speed of my Scolipede into a Mawile, go for Intimidate against the Scizor, and then proceed to outspeed the Scizor. So then suddenly, Scizor isn't really looking like a check anymore. So there is that thing. Like, Mawile has so much speed investment already. Actually, that's why it may have that much speed investment. I'm pretty sure after one speed boost, Mawile outspeeds everything. I think I ensured that with the speed investment I gave it. Pretty sure. Doing the math in my head right now. Pretty confident outspeeds everything barring Tauros and Sceptile, but like both of them can't really do too much to me, so it's whatever. But yeah, Scully's kind of a bait set here. You can just kind of go for strong attacks, get the speed boost, and then Baton Pass out into like whatever is kind of fitting in the situation. If Mudsdale comes in, I can pass speed out to Hydreigon because it's just free against Mudsdale. If he goes into the Dragalge, I can Baton Pass out to Mawile, most likely, because Dragalge would have to run HP Fire, and that means he's not running HP Ground, which means that things are better for Raikou, so there's that. If he... What else would he potentially go into? Potentially Zapdos. I mean, against Zapdos, I'm kind of inclined to just Poison Jab to get fucking damage off, but if I wanted to as well, I could just Baton Pass out to my Nidoqueen, which then proceeds to pretty much outspeed his entire team, and that is a terrifying prospect for my opponent here, guys. Like, he doesn't want that shit. So yeah, Scully's a fun set. Obviously, it's also designed with the Protect and stuff to counter the potential Sticky Web, so I have a late game sweep in mind. I actually don't want to use Scully that much in the early game. I kind of want to keep it in the back because I feel like if I can just get rid of Scizor, then Scully can just sweep, judging on how everything else is broken down quite easily by the rest of my team. So keep in the back, see if we can sweep. But that's the team, guys. I'm pretty excited for it. Obviously, like, the biggest threat on his team is Mega Scizor. Potentially, like, a Trick Room Shandy could be annoying, but I think I'd have something that would outslow it. Or, I mean, like, I have things that can take hits, so it's not going to just Oko everything. Obviously, if he gets Rocks Up as well, it's kind of annoying because, like, Scully and Torn take Chip, which is less than ideal, but, like, I'm just running a really aggressive team here, as you can see. It's a very, very aggressive team, and my whole, like, premise is I lead Torn, I try and taunt or whatever, and just play around it from there. And yeah, try and win the game. That's the plan. But yeah, that's going to do it, because Grey is ready, so it's time to battle. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the game. Peace.